Did you know that Samsung's Neo QLED TVs use mini LED technology, allowing for up to 40% more precise lighting control compared to traditional LED TVs? Introduction: Why Neo QLED matters more than ever. Television technology has always evolved in cycles: CRT to LCD, LCD to LED, LED to QLED, and eventually OLED becoming mainstream. But in the middle of these massive leaps lies a technology that has slowly transformed into one of the most quietly revolutionary formats in display engineering: Mini LED, Samsung's version of which is called Neo QLED. The launch of Samsung Neo QLED wasn't just a refresh in their TV lineup. Samsung effectively redesigned how backlights work, how contrast is controlled, how brightness is delivered, and how HDR realism should actually look in a non-OLED panel. The result is a technology that, to this day, stands as the perfect midpoint between the incredible brightness of QLED and the deep contrast of OLED, often outperforming both in certain areas. This article breaks down why Samsung Neo QLED is a game changer, not only for home theaters but also for gaming, productivity, and even the future of hybrid panel architectures. 1. Understanding the foundation: Mini LED versus traditional LED. Before Neo QLED, TVs used standard LED backlights. A typical LED TV has hundreds of LEDs behind the screen. Neo QLED replaces these with thousands of microscopic LEDs, often 30-40x smaller. What does this achieve? 1. Drastically improved contrast. With thousands of tiny light sources, the TV can brighten small areas without lighting up the whole screen, darken shadows without crushing details, reduce blooming significantly. This produces a contrast level close to OLED, but with far superior brightness. 2. Ultra-fine dimming control. Samsung's quantum matrix technology divides the backlight into thousands of dimming zones, compared to the few dozen in typical LED TVs. The result? More precise light control, better HDR tone mapping, near-invisible transitions between bright and dark pixels. 3. Higher sustained brightness. Because mini LEDs run cooler and occupy less space, they produce more brightness per LED. They maintain brightness longer. They handle HDR peaks better. Neo QLED TVs often hit 1500 to 4000 nits, far brighter than OLED's usual 700 to 1000 nits. 2. Neo QLED versus OLED, a battle of two titans. Samsung's Neo QLED became famous because it narrowed the gap with OLED while offering major advantages in other areas. Advantages Neo QLED has over OLED. Neo QLED for brightness, massive advantage 1500 to 4000 nits, and OLED for brightness, limited 700 to 1000 nits typical. Neo QLED for burn and resistance, immune, and OLED for burn and resistance, possible with static content. Neo QLED for lifespan, longer for bright content, and OLED for lifespan, shorter in bright scenes. Neo QLED for HDR impact, punchier, more vivid, and OLED for HDR impact, more accurate but less intense. Neo QLED for cost efficiency at large sizes, usually cheaper than OLED, and OLED for cost efficiency at large sizes, expensive at 65 to 85 inches. But OLED still excels. Infinite contrast, perfect blacks, wider viewing angles. So why is Neo QLED a game changer? Because it brings OLED-level black performance and unmatched brightness together. For many users, especially bright room viewers, Neo QLED outperforms OLED in actual usage. 3. Quantum matrix technology, the real breakthrough. Mini LED alone isn't enough. Many brands use Mini LED now, but Samsung's success comes from quantum matrix technology, their proprietary dimming algorithm that controls each Mini LED cluster. How Samsung's control system changes the game. 1. Pixel-level precision without being OLED. The algorithm decides which tiny clusters of mini LEDs should dim, how much local brightening is needed, how to preserve shadow details. 2. Blooming reduction through intelligent light shaping. Samsung uses micro-lens technology, anti-reflective coatings, AI-driven brightness shaping. This reduces halos around bright objects, one of Mini LED's biggest weaknesses. 3. AI upscaling and contrast mapping. Samsung's neural quantum processor analyzes every frame using AI and adjusts texture clarity, edge sharpness, zone dimming, color gradation. This creates some of the most lifelike HDR performance on non-OLED panels. 4. Peak brightness. Why Neo QLED wins HDR? HDR isn't about resolution, it's about brightness and contrast. Neo QLED excels here. Neo QLED brightness benefits: vivid highlight sun glare, explosions, reflections, impressive daylight viewing, realistic specular highlights, perfect for bright Indian living rooms. Unlike OLED, which dims under bright scenes to protect organic pixels, Neo QLED stays consistently bright at all times. HDR formats Neo QLED supports: HDR10, HDR10+, HLG, HDR10+ adaptive. Samsung still avoids Dolby Vision, but as HDR10+ gains traction, the practical difference keeps shrinking. 5. Color mastery with quantum dot layer. Samsung uses pure inorganic quantum dots, nanoparticles that absorb light and emit highly saturated colors. Benefits: wide color gamut up to 100% DCI-P3 coverage, extremely accurate reds and greens, more vibrant blues, color consistency at high brightness. Quantum dots do not degrade like OLED pixels, ensuring long-term color stability. 6. Anti-reflection technology, industry-leading. Samsung's anti-reflection layer is arguably the best in the world. What it does: cuts down glare, reduces window reflections, keeps colors intact even under direct light. This is a huge advantage in Indian households where wall-mounted TVs often face open windows. 7. Gaming features, where Neo QLED absolutely dominates. Samsung Neo QLED TVs are often considered among the best gaming TVs you can buy without going OLED. Gaming highlights: full 4K 120Hz or 144Hz support, FreeSync Premium Pro, G-Sync compatibility, ultra-low input lag as low as 5.8 milliseconds, HDMI 2.1 ports for next-gen consoles, Motion Accelerator Turbo Plus for smooth frame interpolation, VRR Plus ULM support, Game Bar, a dedicated HUD that shows FPS, HDR status, VRR, input lag, aspect ratio adjustments. Mini LED panels shine in gaming because they handle bright HDR highlights, explosions, reflections, fast motion, better than OLED panels that sometimes dim aggressively. 8. Design and build, modern, minimal, premium. Samsung Neo QLED TVs use ultra-thin bezels, slim profile despite thousands of LEDs, One Connect box on some models, premium metal frames. The One Connect box is a standout feature. Single cable to TV, all ports integrated into external box, perfect for wall mounting. 9. Smart TV features and OS, the Tizen advantage. Samsung uses Tizen OS, one of the fastest and most optimized smart TV platforms. Benefits: quick app loading, smooth navigation, Samsung Health integration, Samsung Gaming Hub cloud gaming support, multi-view modes, ambient mode plus, voice assistants Bixby, Alexa, Google compatibility depending on region. 10. Audio innovations, surprisingly good TV sound. While soundbars are always recommended, Neo QLED TVs have object tracking sound OTS Dolby Atmos support, Q Symphony TV Plus soundbar sync, Adaptive Sound Pro. OTS uses multiple speakers around the TV body to simulate moving sound elements, great for movies and games. 11. Longevity, reliability and burn and resistance. One of Neo QLED's biggest selling points over OLED is peace of mind. What you don't worry about: burn-in, logo retention, dimming during long gaming sessions, pixel degradation. This makes Neo QLED a perfect choice for news watchers, sports fans, heavy YouTube users, gamers who leave HUDs on for hours. 12. Neo QLED in 2025 and beyond. Samsung continues refining Neo QLED with smaller LEDs, better dimming algorithms, higher contrast ratios, 14-bit and 16-bit brightness control. AI-based adaptive picture modes. In many ways, Neo QLED represents the future of non-organic displays, a path where brightness, durability, and performance combine without the drawbacks of OLED. Conclusion: why Neo QLED is truly a game changer. Samsung Neo QLED is a game changer because it delivers a unique combination of features rarely found in one technology. Black check mark emoji, OLED-like contrast. Black check mark emoji, far superior brightness. Black check mark emoji, immune to burn-in. Black check mark emoji, best-in-class HDR punch. Black check mark emoji, incredible gaming performance. Black check mark emoji, exceptional glare reduction. Black check mark emoji, long-term reliability. Black check mark emoji, stunning color accuracy. Neo QLED bridges the gap between LED and OLED, offering the best of both worlds and often outperforming OLED in bright room conditions, gaming, and long-term usage. For many households, especially in environments like India, Neo QLED is the most balanced premium TV technology available today. If you're considering buying the Neo QLED, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any questions or concerns about this TV? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in checking out more TV reviews, I've got another video coming up soon where I'll be reviewing some of the latest budget-friendly options. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech content.